Katie, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I didn't know you were like in Venice, California, so close.
Yes, I sure am.
I know. She's honestly, I'm sitting with like the guru. She is such a queen. You do so many things.
Thank
and
you.
I'm so excited to dive into your journey, your story, because yeah, you're just like a woman who does it all and so humble, so kind. Like
you.
since you walked in, you just have this like radiating positive energy around you, and we're all about that on the podcast.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. I honestly usually have a lot more energy than this. I just got back from a cross-country trip, and so usually I am higher energy, but I'm going to try to bring all my best energy right now.
She's got the best energy. If this is her like low energy,
this is my very, very calm, low energy self. I just want you to know that.
Imagine the low energy. So Katie, okay, for people who may not know, who is Katie Austin? Give us a little bit of a background on you, just like a brief like overview on like who you are, the abundant human that you are, and what you do in the space.
Oh, I like that. I like how you just said all that. So I am, I guess I'll give a little bit of the longer version.
Yeah.
Not too long, don't worry.
She's a podcaster, she knows.
I grew up in Alexandria, Virginia, and I played lacrosse my entire life. And so when I was a sophomore in high school, I got a scholarship to USC, which is Southern California. So I got a scholarship to play lacrosse in college, and that is how I got to Los Angeles, actually. And so growing up, I was always in the fitness industry. I will say, I'll preface that and say my mom was a big fitness guru. She still is.
Yeah.
She's grown her fitness empire. She had her own TV show for 25 years. She has the record for fitness DVDs and VHSs and all that stuff. So my first workout video was when I was 7 years old. I've been doing it for a long time, but as you know, if you're a college athlete out there, you know that thinking about a career is pretty impossible at the same time as, you know, following your dreams with sports. And so when I finally moved on from lacrosse, I started to do sports hosting. After I graduated college, I became a sports host on Fox Sports West. There's obviously so many more steps in here, but I'm just trying to get it all out. Fox Sports West, I was a sports host for about 3.5 years. I did some really cool stuff with the NBA and NFL Network. And then honestly, 2020 really hit, and I became a fitness influencer pretty much full time, which is crazy. At the same time that COVID hit, I actually auditioned for my third time to Sports Illustrated swimsuit, and 22,000 girls that year actually applied, and I ended up winning. And so I was a Sports Illustrated swimsuit rookie in 2021. And I now have a fitness app called the Katie Austin app. It has over 300 workout classes, 200 recipes I add to it on a weekly basis, and keeping up with my social media. And this January, February, I was just on the cover of Women's Health magazine.
Saw that. She does it all, and she has a wedding in 3 months.
Oh yeah, I'm a 2024 bride. I'm on bride TikTok. That is literally, honestly, like 80% of my social media is bride talk. It's a crazy world to be on, and I didn't know how much it existed until I was in it. But yeah, planning a wedding right now, that's actually probably my priority at the moment.
That is insane. Like on top of like the list of everything, like model, creator, entrepreneur, business owner, like wedding planner.
And also I'm not a good planner in the slightest. And so the wedding planning kind of like has been a little bit hard for me. I'm not going to lie, just because it's not really, I've never thought about my wedding before. I've never thought about really, I mean, I know this guy is the love of my life and everything, but like, I just feel like sometimes weddings can be really, just a lot on social media, and you can compare yourself, and weddings and bachelorettes these days feel very done for social media. So I just feel like there's like so much to do and so much you can do and going on, like I should have this. And so just kind of taking a step back from that and not really making it my whole personality at the moment, and trying to just relax and be like, I'm marrying the love of my life. Like, is this really that wedding day like that big of a deal. So that's where I'm at right now. 3 months to go. Check in with me in 2 months, maybe with a month to go. But we have a lot to do. So that's where I'm at.
And it always comes together. One thing with events, like we do so many live events, so much has to come together for that perfect day, but it all comes together. Yeah.
I will say it does always work out. That's why I'm not too worried. I do feel like, I can tend to compare myself. I don't compare myself a lot in other assets of my life, but I just feel like with weddings, I can tend to compare myself because I open up TikTok and it's like, my wedding date is September 2024, and here's what I have planned. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart rate just got so sky high because I have none of this. But again, it'll all work out. It's okay. And you know what? Whatever happens, happens.
100%. It's like, I want to go right there with your beautiful mindset, because I think that, well, actually, I know like through even like following you, you exude that. And with everything you do in your career, I think, especially operating in the fitness industry, I think there's a lot of people listening, right, who like want to start a brand or want to start posting content that they care about. Maybe they want to start their own fitness app. I actually know a lot of people who like want to start subscription apps. They want to just start branding themselves in the space, but then they have that thought, right? That limiting belief that's like, oh, but the space is so saturated. There's so many people out there. The world doesn't need another app. The world doesn't need another content creator. You have this beautiful mindset there. Like, what is your view with how you view like being in the space as a content creator, as an influencer?
I think first and foremost, it's all about gratitude. And I know that sounds so cliche, like, another person saying gratitude, but it's so true because there's so many ways to be negative about what anybody does as either a career. But I'm just so grateful that it's even an opportunity to be a content creator, that there's opportunity to have an app out there. 10 years ago, you don't think like that. You had to go a different avenue and have a more traditional in sense job. And so I think first and foremost is just be like, okay, wait, it's free to put myself out there. Social media is free. Grab your phone. It doesn't need to be too aesthetic, and start posting and see what happens about it. As far as an app, I know it's very expensive to create some businesses at the same time. But I don't talk about this a lot, but my app is fully whitelisted. So basically, I put barely any money into it, but I split the revenue. So there's always ways around, the risk at the same sense. You could always partner with someone. You could always just take a smaller percent if it's, too big of a risk and you're like, I don't want to take that huge risk and, put all this money into a business. There's always a way around it. And just going in to any situation of your why. I think that's really important and something why I really created my fitness app and my program is the why is to help other people. And when you have that and you're so passionate about that why, then of course it's going to succeed. And of course you should do it because you're trying to help other people. And that's what's so rewarding about the fitness industry is because you actually can impact other people. And I think that's also going back to even just being a creator, not even in the fitness industry, but like you actually can impact other people. So taking that, not just being like, I want to be an influencer because they make a lot of money. I want to be an influencer because I want a lot of followers and likes. I want to be on Sports Illustrated. Right. It's like the why, but why? You have to have some sort of reasoning and platform to really like carry behind that. And I think, you're going to be successful if you find that.
I totally agree. And I think like when it's so pure and abundant and it's selfless, that's when I believe like the portals open up. Like,
it's true.
You are like such a magnet for more blessings because you're operating from gratitude, which is like the best energy.
I really think too. I know I sound so, I'm really not a very, I don't know how to say this. Like I am spiritual in some sense.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
I'm
that.
not like super like LA spiritual. I'll just say that. That's my sister's thing. But basically for me, like, the power of like manifestation has really come true lately in the last couple years for me so hard that it's like, oh my gosh, you just have to put yourself out there and you just have to say to like two people like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do next. And it's like the craziest thing that's like the last couple years has like really, really, really happened. And I never was a huge believer in that, honestly, because I'm a very like, let's work hard person, like work. Dreams don't work unless you do. But at the same time, the power of like envisioning what you want is so key.
I think it's like so two parts. It's like,
yes,
there's some people who like vision all day long and they don't do anything. And then that's where I feel like the spiritual world gets such a bad rap, especially like in the bubble in the West Side in Venice.
Yeah.
It's like I meet people who are like sitting at Air One daydreaming, and it's like, no, we gotta like hustle and put the work in. It's like so two parts, and you have both.
Two parts. Yeah.
Because you're so intentional and self-aware on like what you want, and then we're going to get into everything. Like you hustle.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also coming back to gratitude. I think I am very, very grateful. I know I am very, very grateful that I know what I want in life. So it's hard too, because a lot of people, you know, especially in their 20s, I just turned 30. So your 20s are freaking hard. But like in your 20s, you just like, there's so many different things that you want in life and you don't know what you want. And you feel lost. And I feel very grateful that I know what I want, and turning 30 was like a huge, I don't know, a huge turning key for me of like, okay, this is where my life is headed, and I'm so excited about it.
I love that. Oh my gosh. What do you do to like someone listening is probably like, this girl is so self-aware and she knows what she wants and she's literally getting everything she wants. Like, how was that always innate in you? Did you grow up in a family that was like very entrepreneurial and like kind of like helped you navigate the path? Did you just do any other like personal development work? Like,
yeah, I mean, speaking of self-aware, I'm very self-aware of my privilege of where I also came from. My dad, you know, president of his agency, represents NBA players, and he really grew from nothing. I mean, my parents really, you know, really grew from the ground up as well. So seeing them being so entrepreneurial, and my mom especially being like such a legend and really carving her own path as a female on ESPN doing leg lifts. Like, come on now, for 10 years on ESPN before SportsCenter even existed, my mom was like the only female on that channel. So like seeing those powerful parents, I think like really inspired me to do really well with my life, and, you know, work really hard and kind of like have this belief in the back of my mind, like you can do it. But again, like I said, I was an athlete since I was 7. I played 3 sports. I worked really, really hard in lacrosse and tennis, especially. And, you know, I just kind of kept my head down and kept working about that. And happy that I got to go to my dream college and pursue a career in Los Angeles afterwards. It's a mixture of gratitude, luck, and working hard at the same time, and understanding where I came from as well.
It's so cool because you came from that athletic background, and like you're having a podcast and doing like done like maybe 200 interviews. Like, I've seen a through line with people who had that professional or like collegiate athletic background, and it is so cool because I have this narrative that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So you got to show up in your life in every single area a 10 out of 10. Like, I get very passionate about like being an entrepreneur who's in marketing, right? For example, and I like will approach my workouts like really like a certain way, my diet, everything. Cause I think like if I'm slacking in one area, it's a reflection of how I slack in another. Yeah. And I see this through line with athletes. Like,
totally. I fully agree. And I think that's also a weakness of mine. I'm not going to lie, because I don't
self-awareness. She's self-aware.
Because my weakness, I think I'm so hard on myself, and I have been so hard on myself to do better, do more my whole entire life because of being an athlete, and, you know, all the tests and the running tests and being better, and like the opportunity of not starting and like competing. I've really had to unlearn a lot of those habits at the same time, because I've always been so go-getter because of that, and a little bit too competitive. So I've had to unlearn, and that goes especially back to my workouts. Like it's the entire kind of as a great metaphor is how I work out now is, you know, a little bit lighter on the body, low impact. I'm not freaking sprinting. I'm walking, like these things where I'm slowing down my life, because my whole mindset since I was little has been like better, stronger, harder.
I really relate to that, and I kind of want to unpack that a bit. And I know like a lot of people don't unpack things like this because, you know, I feel like a lot of podcasts in my space or just like health platforms, it's all about like relating to the masses, which is like helping people get really structured. And it's always like an area to tread lightly, because there's certain people like I really resonate with that, because it's like been such an exercise this for 2024 for me is like slowing down more, enjoying life, not being so hard on myself. And I know I never really talk about it because it's like the message is to like wake up at 5, hit that cold plunge, stay in for this.
And you see so many people still on social media, like you almost like feel bad about yourself. You see their morning routines. It's like 5:30 a.m. Do you see those TikToks? It's like 5:30, 5:45 smoothie, 6 a.m. workout, this, shower, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, whoa, that's a lot in a day. Whoa, can we slow down?
Yeah.
I'm tired even watching that.
How did you start to like enter this like, because you it's also new. Like, I want to go there with your whole balance approach, but like, yeah, how did you be like, okay, because for me, even when I take a day off the gym, I'm like, I have anxiety.
No, same. This is a very new feeling for me. It's kind of weird, and this sounds like really, again, like seriously, I swear, when I turned 30, I just turned 30 in October, and when I turned 30, it was like this newfound like, I can actually breathe now. Like I really can just take a moment, and it's not so freaking rushed in my 20s. I'm not competing. I could just actually be so content with where I am. And I feel like your 20s, there's like, who said it? I think Tinks might have said this one time in one of her, her social content. She was like, your 20s are mismarketed. And I think that's like such a good line because, they are. You're supposed to have, in your 20s, it's like you think you're supposed to be like thriving and having the best life and know exactly what you're supposed to do. And it's not always working out that way. And so I'm just a couple months in, but I'm having a great time at 30. It's all really coming together. But no, going back to that, it's new. I've had to really teach myself and teach my mind that it's okay to be slower and how to, when you slow down, that's how you speed up. You need these days of doing almost nothing or letting your body rest and letting your mind rest to be able to speed up.
What have been like, have you found so many benefits from that?
So many benefits. So to the point where I've literally grown my business a lot in just 3 months from slowing down, which is crazy to think about because I tried so freaking hard every single day. And then the less I do, the more views I get, the more followers I get, the more subscribers on my app I've gotten. I'm like, what the heck? Less is more sometimes. Like,
what do you attribute it towards? Like, is it necessarily like giving yourself more rest as the founder, or is it like just being really intentional with the
being very intentional? That is my word for 2024. Actually, thank you for bringing it up. No, my word for 2024 is like intention, like just being very mindful of everything that I do and having just a little bit more of a why. Going back to that at the beginning of the podcast, we talked about the why, having a little bit more of the why behind it. And, I don't know. I really don't know. This sounds about to sound really, really bad advice. So I'm like hesitant to say it, but care less. And I just have cared.
That helps so much on social.
Yeah, I've just cared
That's
so
what I'm trying to
much.
do with my social.
Yeah, no,
I have so much to say.
I see.
And I hold back, and now I'm like, let's get comfortable.
I literally have cared way too much.
On my vision board, I have all these quotes that are kind of out there, and it helps me be like, yes.
I love that. I love that. So I don't know if it's good advice, but care less. I just have cared less, and I've grown by caring less. And that's so weird to say. This is also very new. I might change my mind in a month, but this is all just very new.
No, this is the new way. This is the new way.
This is 2024 me right now.
I love it. Okay, I want to talk about your app because you are this boss female entrepreneur. You have a team around you. You do it all. Like, I want to like understand your app, like what it offers for everyone. And then also, scaling your dream team. How was that entrepreneurial journey for you? Because I think when you're a content creator too, and like you seem like myself, like a perfectionist, delegating is very hard.
Very hard. Very hard. It's one of my weaknesses again, but I'm learning. We're
very similar.
Yeah. So the Katie Austin app, I might have to change the name of it when I get married. Ugh.
Wait, what's the new last name?
Armstrong. And I'm like,
that's a good last name.
Fitness name. I know, but like I've been Katie Austin my whole life.
Austin is like, your name, Katie Austin, is such a, okay, I know you built a huge name, but like, when you meet someone who's like, it's just a successful name. Like it looks like on covers, like Armstrong's another powerhouse last name.
It is, but I have to change like everything apart of my business and my app. But anyways, that's besides the point. That's a hopefully in 3 months, 4 months problem. But going back to what it is now, the Katie Austin app, I have over 300 workout classes. They're all at-home classes where you can do anywhere, anytime. All you need is 5 feet of space. And my favorite part about the app is the variety of different workouts. I do everything from dance cardio to yoga yoga to strength to HIIT,
Love that.
Pilates.
That's so cool.
And also ranging between, 10 minutes to 45 minutes. I do live workouts on there as well. We have a great community chat, so we can, you can comment on the videos, you can favorite the videos, what you like, build playlists, download them, the whole 9 yards. But really just making workouts accessible for everybody. It is less than 30 cents a day. So yeah. And then from there, I have, over 200 recipes. And again, with the recipes, I really wanted them to be accessible, meaning like if you are not an advanced cook, same. I did not go to culinary school or anything, but I love to cook. I enjoy it. It's my form of meditation. And so I really want to teach my audience how to make yummy, delicious, healthy-ish food at home, because my recipes aren't like the health nut extreme type recipes. They include bacon, cheese, and a lot of pasta. We love pasta. And so I really just want to make sure that girls know that, food is fuel. That's how, I have a mindset where, always add, not subtract, and don't restrict yourself, enjoy your life. And that's kind of the whole message there.
It's so balanced and
it's
so
very
different
balanced.
Compared to like what else is out there. To me, at least, like I feel like there's a lot of people, they have like a method that serves like one niche of like way of working out.
Which is wonderful in my opinion, because, there's a niche, and a niche is really smart because you can hit, the exact audience that you're trying to do. I actually have really just created my workouts on how I work out as well. And really finding the fun back in workouts, because after, stopping playing lacrosse, I stopped working out for a year. All I did was know how to run. I didn't know how to work out without a coach. And so I really want to appeal to the ex-athlete who is trying to find their way of moving their body again, and trying to almost teach them they can do it at home and get motivated themselves in just 20 minutes. They don't need to, go to the gym and crush their bodies for 4 hours, what we used to do. So the variety is really, really important to me in that reason.
I love that. I want to go into the balance and the fitness routine more. But before that, I want to ask you about how you stay organized, because you also you have an app. How has it been growing your own team? How has that journey been?
That's funny you asked that. I am hiring a new person. Actually, it's a really risky hire, because I've never thought to grow my team above 2 people ever. And so hiring a new full-time employee starting next on Monday. So it's a very nervous feeling. And it's an internal brand manager for the Katie Austin app. And so they kind of going to project manage everything. And this is the first time in a year where I feel terrified. Because it's hard, to hire a new person and come in and kind of give up. And also me giving up a lot of my child. It's the Katie Austin app. So it's it's okay, fine, you can handle some of it. And you have to, and that's how I've tried to learn, and I am learning right now, obviously, currently, that you do have to give up part of it to scale a business. And so I'm trying to keep telling myself, this feeling of being scared and taking this risk is good to grow. That's what you need. And, I fully invested in the app and in my business with my own money. And the influencer deals that I do really fund this business. And that's kind of why I have to keep up as a content creator to fuel my business and my products and everything that I want to do with the Katie Austin brand. So I'm fueling that money by paying this new girl. And it's kind of scary, because I have to work to keep this going. I can't take a week off. And that's how I'm a little bit scared right now. So it's it's not a company that can just, I have to show up for the workouts every day. I have to do the live, so it's risky, but I'm really, really excited.
That's so big. I always believe all the growth, all the good things come from how uncomfortable we get.
I feel very uncomfortable right now. I'm almost sweating. No, but when I'm paying a lot of people. So it's I got to keep going strong. And hopefully it'll just make me work harder. Yeah. I hope, but it's scary.
Feel such a fire.
It's scary. But
that means all the good things are coming.
Yeah.
They're all in the pipeline.
I could talk a lot about California employment stuff.
I was saying to Maria, I was saying it on my walk this morning. I was the law is here.
It's
As
wild.
A founder, you really, it's an employee's haven over here.
Yeah. I've been talking to a few people. They're you should move to Texas. And I'm like,
I was with like Chef Bae Brooke earlier, and she's like,
I love her.
She's such a good friend. She came on the podcast, and we just became so close. And we were talking this morning, and I was like asking her, I'm like, oh, did you set up payroll? And she's like, I like contractors. And I was like, wow, same, but I can't.
I know, same.
It's so crazy.
It's really hard, and the payroll tax. I mean, I could talk for. That's
what she told me.
I mean, you guys, anyways, we can stop talking about this because I don't want this to come back and bite me legally.
We are hiring. California loves us. We're not doing contractors.
If you live in Texas, I'll hire you. No, I'm kidding.
Man, I know, but I always think about that. I'm like, it's such a beautiful place to live. Like, I truly believe, and actually, this is actually a perfect segue where I wanted to go next. Like, I truly believe, I think it's because I moved here from Canada and I grew up in an environment that was nothing like LA. And I love where I'm from, so proud to be Canadian, but I am so like, I get like still starry-eyed when I'm like walking down the street and I see a palm tree.
Oh,
like,
same.
I'm so grateful to be here.
I mean, I've been here for 10 years and I still feel the same way. Sometimes I'm like driving to a meeting.
Don't even get me started.
Sometimes I'm driving to a meeting and I'm like looking at like around like Beverly Hills and I'm like, whoa, I live in LA.
My area code is this. Like, what?
Yeah, it's wild.
And I do believe that it pays tenfold to be here because point blank, like if I wasn't standing here in LA, I would not have the business that I have today because of the relationships that I've cultivated.
Totally.
In this area.
Totally. I've had this conversation a lot.
I think maybe later, like when I have kids, I think different story. Like I might move. Like
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Like
I don't know where we're gonna live.
Yeah, you're ready for that next season, and you're gonna be buying a house maybe with your partner. Like
totally. And you know, my fiance and I are both not from California originally. He's from Nevada. And he was a farm boy.
Good tax over there.
He really good tax, and he grew up like he's gonna kill me, but like a farm rodeo boy. So like he's like really like he's nice and gritty, and I love it.
Does he like LA? Because some people hate it if they're like depending on what. I
mean, he's a wonderful job here. He loves his job, so I think like that's what's holding us here. If you know, we'll see what happens when we have kids, but you know. We're definitely, I'll just say that we're thinking about it.
Yeah, I know a lot of our friends, like mutual friends, have like moved to Austin.
Yeah,
or, like,
not anytime soon. I don't want to. If anyone's listening from my partner's work, trust me, not anytime soon.
And also, you could like come in. Like that's what Mari just moved.
Yeah,
like, she's like, it's so easy.
I know.
Every month.
It is easy. Actually, the flight's easy.
But on the note of LA, you have a crazy network. Like you've had some insane opportunities with hosting, with working with brands that are on people's vision boards. And I know you're a hustler.
Thank you.
And I know you do the work. And that's like, I kind of want to go into that journey.
Networking?
Like, how have you truly scaled your name? Because everyone knows the Katie Austin name. It's a great name. We got to keep the name.
Thank you.
How have you scaled your network?
I think your network, and I mean, speaking of LA, let's talk great on it now. Seriously, the network in LA is so valuable. That's like the reason, you know, a huge reason I live here. I think I've had just so many different jobs over the last 10 years that you just meet so many people. And in my opinion, like you just never know where someone's going to end up to. So say like, you know, someone works for, you know, a water bottle company or something. And you're like, well, I don't need to work with water bottle company right now. You never know where they're going to end up in 2 years. And so always being nice to whoever you work with. And I mean, that goes for every person, not because they can help you in the future, but just be nice in general.
And we talked about this before too.
And be someone to like be good to work with, because I think in LA too, something like that I've heard, like, you know, word moves fast if you're not great to work with. So being a good person to work with, and also like be very grateful of your opportunities, right? So it's like, for me, whenever, you know, someone's like, hey, I've been thinking about this for you for this opportunity, it's like, you say thank you. And I know it sounds so crazy, but maybe even write a thank you card or anything. And I like be very grateful for the people who help you and always try to help other people. Like I have gotten so many of my friends, agents or managers. I literally love connecting people. It's like one of my passions is connecting people and being like, oh, do you know so-and-so? I was like, yeah, I actually do. Let me connect you right now. And like, I love doing that. And I think I do that also not because I expect anything in return, but then people want to help me because I have helped them maybe 2 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. So I just think the power of that network is really, really important. And also like following up with people, like, hey, let's go get coffee. And, after if you don't know them in real life, like something I just did, I signed a pretty big deal back in November, and, I'm just taking the person out to drinks, this month because I'm like, hey, following up. And I just think it's fun that way to do that. And it also just makes
nurturing the relationship.
Yeah. And especially as a content creator myself, my job is so lonely sometimes. And so it's like cultivating a sense of community within the workspace that's not, that I don't really have as much.
You're speaking my language. I literally wrote in my story before you got here, like, why I started doing those dinners and the events is like to connect. This is my joy and my pure passion, like to connect people. And the thing is, it's like when you do it without expectation, that's when the energy is so felt on the other side. Because I'm sure, like I've felt it too. People reach out for something and it's like an immediate ask, or like you could just feel that energy. But it's such a beautiful thing when you operate from this gratitude, this grateful place, and you just are doing it because you're a genuine good person.
I think that's the best advice, is to help other people without expectations. Like it doesn't, one of my best friends always said this too. And I always go back to this quote too. It's like, oh my gosh, lighting someone else's candle will not dim yours. So it's like helping other people, yes, exactly. Helping other people just will not discredit anything you do. In turn, it'll just help you in the future.
I also talk about this. We talk a lot about this stuff on the podcast, but like, it attracts more. You make yourself a magnet. Like when you put out goodness, it's just going to bring it back. And like life's such a mirror. Yeah. Like if you're putting out bad energy, you're probably just only going to bring in bad energy. If
it's
you're
so
this
true.
nice person and you're in a great mood, you're going to attract and people want to be around that.
At the same time, I will say, this is my little bit of bite that I have, is just say thank you when someone helps you. Just say thank you. I've gotten a lot of people who never have acknowledged anything that you help. And it's like, okay, well then it's just a thank you. And I think a thank you can go a really long way. Manners. Just a thank you.
I love the note on checking in with people and like remember and like re-following, because that's how relationships work. And like it goes into like what your word is for the year. I'm like intentional about the relationships I want to nurture, and I'm being so mindful on that. Like, who are the energy givers in my life? Who are the drainers? And then pull into those who are.
Yes, the drainers. Yeah, I definitely have had my fair share of drainers, and it's like you finally realize, who you feel your best self around, and it's such a freeing feeling. Oh my gosh, when you don't have to hang out with the drainers anymore.
How have you, especially in LA, right? You've been here for 10 years. Like, how have you? I felt like when I moved here, I was like a yes to everything.
Oh my gosh,
like, yes,
same.
Come. And I definitely attracted a lot of draining people who wanted things and just were not going to.
I said yes to way too much.
But like, how did you start to like make those like moves where it's like did you just gently start like hanging out with people less? Like,
I think it took me years to understand that quantity of friends does not matter. It's quality. And to be fully honest with you, it took me 5 years post-college. What is this? Yeah, 5 years post-college, maybe 4, to find like real good, hearty friendships in Los Angeles. It was hard. It was really, really hard.
It takes time. The good ones take time.
Yeah. And I think I always kind of had like my party friend, my career friend, my this friend. I was like, I have friends for different reasons. And I was like, I really just didn't like that at all, having friends for different reasons. I just wanted my core group of best friends. I have a group of, there's 8 of us from my hometown of Virginia. We've been best friends since I was like 2 years old. It's like the sweetest group. And I've always just been like searching for that like quality of a group and like, not friends for different reasons, friends for every reason group. And I finally found amazing friends. And now I have a really amazing group. But it took a while. So if you live in LA or if you live in a city, like keep trying. And when you don't feel like good about a group, like it's okay to disassociate, because I think that's something that a lot of, women don't talk about enough is friendship breakups and, and moving on. And it's like, it hurts. I've had a couple of them, and I think, they were for the best and they served a purpose in that time, and it's okay to move on when it doesn't feel right anymore.
That's so good that you said that too, because I think people need permission sometimes.
I know.
Like, I'm okay. And I'm not like off for thinking this or wanting this. Like,
no, it's just, you don't feel good around them sometimes anymore.
And like on the other side lies like your people.
Yeah.
You make those adjustments.
It's so true.
I want to talk about your balanced lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe like also with the way that you approach fitness and everything, I think it is there's so much sustainability and longevity because
that's key. Yes.
So
no, I mean, you nailed it on the head with longevity. I think something, when you look at the fitness industry, there's so many, quick fixes, trends and challenges that last 14 days and all this stuff is like 7-day abs and stuff. And it's like, okay, but how can we really stick with it and make it a habit? For someone like me, like I don't wake up every single day with motivation to work out, including today. I was like, I feel like a blob. But
she just got back from Detroit.
Yeah, I did. And so you have to make it a habit and you have to also switch the perspective. I think a lot of the times, for me especially, I was always training for something. And so like I had to switch that mindset. But a lot of people are like, okay, I need to lose weight. Okay, I need to do this because I have to. And to switch that perspective, like, okay, it's actually good for my mental health and good for longevity of my life to move my body. And viewing it that way, I think is really important. And knowing how much better you'll feel afterwards. I think that's the entire goal out of it. I know a lot of the times, like you do want to lose weight and that's amazing. Do you, baby. But like remembering also, it's great for your mental health. It's good for energy levels, productivity, your heart health. There's so many other amazing benefits with working out. And that's how you can keep longevity of it.
I know. And it's such a positive relationship. Like how do you do it with, I feel like this is a great thing, like with social things, because so many social activities like trips, festivals, even for everyone, like all the single girls who are dating, like it's all around like food and maybe drinking. Yeah. And it's like, yes, I know they're like the extreme, like I'm always like, oh, I have to be like on this set plan. But then also I'm like, I got to live a balanced life.
Totally. You need to live your life.
How have you had such a positive relationship with it? You live like your lifestyle. I feel like you don't sacrifice your social plans.
I got to be fully honest with you. I've always just really had a really good mindset around, enjoying my life, but also living a really healthy, balanced way. So I have a hard time answering that question because I've always just kind of, again, very grateful that I've had such a great relationship with food and alcohol. So I'm not a very good person to answer that because it just comes very naturally to me, but because I really believe that you should enjoy your life. And I, again, going back to food as fuel, I think about like how foods can make me feel better and what they'll do for me at the same time. But of course, like I'm a huge foodie. I need my food to taste good. I think the one thing, if you are trying to stay balanced, maybe is knowing that every little thing adds up. So, if you're trying to have a good time when you're out and about with your friends, just choosing less sugary cocktails and like, opting for, splitting something instead of, having, the whole thing and splitting it, get a side salad. Those little things do add up. But my belief is enjoy your dang life.
It's so rare too in this industry, which is like something I love.
Oh, I'm a tequila girl. That's all.
What's your drink when you go out?
That's why I'm tired for real, because I'm a little hungover. But yeah. But we're trying to drink less actually in the month of January. So it's called Damp January for me. But I am trying, going back to intentional, I'm trying to be a little bit more intentional about drinking as well. And I know I said I have a great relationship with it. I just, I like to have fun. My girlfriends are going out. I like to have a drink. And I'm just like, wait a second. Like I'm going out tomorrow night with my girlfriends. And I'm like, wait, do I need to have a glass of wine? So I am trying to have that second thought a little bit more because I just love to have fun. And it's just, I know you can have fun without alcohol, but that's just the type of girl I am. Yeah, I like to have fun.
I love self-awareness too. Okay, so you are also like huge mega model, Sports Illustrated.
Mega model, look at me. Come on now.
And I think this is like another thing that like, even if it's like the mental component, because you are so balanced, like when you have these big shoots, do you ever do any prep work or do you just keep a very balanced approach? And I think almost like balanced approach kind of like coasts you into it. Because I feel like being a woman, like your cortisol, if you think something, like your body will just like hold on.
So freaking true.
Like, feel that
also,
so
I said, look at me as a joke because I have leggings in it too. But
Natural
so the first time when I got my first call back for Sports Illustrated swimsuits,
22,000 people. Like I know it's like,
yeah,
they're big opportunities. It's not like small modeling. It's big.
I mean, yeah, it was huge. It's definitely my biggest break that I've ever gotten. So my first call back, there was 14 of us, and I decided to, really go hard for about 35 days before my first shoot with SI Swimsuit. I accidentally, I didn't even mean to, but I lost a pretty good amount of weight. And I was just so anxious about it. That was the best shape I've ever been in. I was eating so clean. I gave up alcohol for 35 days and I was just like on my on my shit. And I have never been so anxious. So the last couple of years that I've shot for SI, I've done nothing different. Speaking of, when I shot recently, or when I shot, last year, when I shot, whatever I can say. When I shot recently, I literally didn't have even that much time to prep. I mean, they give you I think 2 weeks maybe. So you don't have that much time anyways. They really want you to come as you are. And I think that's really why I wanted to be a part of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit in the beginning, is they really love you for you, to not change anything about yourself. And that's when I felt my most confident. I've literally, the past couple shoots, I felt my most confident without changing a thing. I do work out 5 days a week. So, I still have a great routine going into anything. But no, I really, really don't. I think the one thing that I do differently when I shoot for SI is I don't really work for about a day or two before the shoot, just to kind of cleanse my mind. I know also that is a really huge privilege to not work for a day or two. I'm very self-aware of that. But I really just take off. I clear my schedule, and I never really clear a schedule for no reason per se.
But it's a job too.
It's a huge job.
Exactly. When I was a student, in university in Canada, doing the shows, bikini competitions. Yeah. Peak week work is super light. I know I was young
super
and I was
light,
in school, and I had all these other jobs like waitressing and all these things. I just asked for all the time off those weeks because it actually really plays such a role in your mental.
Huge role. I mean,
the physical
even
body,
just having I know this sounds really crazy, but even just having a meeting the day before I leave, I just feel it's you just want to clear your mind. And that, by the way, these shoots happen once a year, so it's not like I'm doing this, a lot. So you just want to also, that only helps. But
also that's a career needle moving opportunity.
Totally. So it helps with clearing my mind and also just kind of getting me mentally prepped to live in the moment, if that makes sense, because the day goes by so fast. It's the best in the whole world.
Wedding, you're gonna be a freaking pro.
I know. I literally said I'm not working on my wedding week. Again, so privileged. I'm fully aware, but
you deserve it.
I just think I'm going to take the wedding week off out of office.
That's so beautiful too. I think that story and how you approach it is so inspiring, because I think a lot of people would strive to have that if they're, maybe it's their own thing. Maybe it is a shoot for them or a cover, or maybe it's, a trip. A lot of people do that, right?
I will say my women's health cover shoot was 3 days in the middle of September, in the middle of my 8-city workout tour. I didn't have a day off in 6 weeks. I worked every weekend. I did classes on Saturdays and Sundays, and I traveled to a new city. And so I did that in the middle of it. And I felt, best shoot of my life. I did it with my mom. It was incredible. But at the same time, I was I wish I just had a day before just to take it all in and just okay, I'm shooting for Women's Health magazine. This is a huge deal, but it was in the middle of all these things. Yeah. And I did feel a huge difference of maybe not being as present as I should have been.
Yeah. Oh, it's where I'm going to go next, because on all of our episodes, I could talk to you forever. We always go into at the end, routines, non-negotiable habits. And it seems being present is such a part of your mental, you make an effort to be present. Do you have a morning routine you could share with us, or any non-negotiable habits that you do daily?
Ooh.
I know you kind of said it earlier, you're not a routine kind of.
So I just travel a lot, so it's very hard for me to have a set in stone morning
That's
routine.
inspiring. I like love when people come on and share the honest.
Yeah. I mean, I try. I mean, there's a lot of different habits that I've been adding into my routine. I'm like trying my best to, you know, add in little things here and there to, when it comes to my wedding day, feel my best self. And all of these things that I'm adding in are literally just for my wedding day, but I can shoot them off.
But then watch, they'll be like stuck as habits.
They might be exactly. And that's why also
I don't
having
know what the date with that quote is. It's like how many days it takes to make something a habit.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe 21 days or what is it?
Maybe 21.
Yeah,
So
but it's sticking, and I've already like loved these habits that I'm doing. Okay, so right now, by the way, come back in 3 weeks. I don't know if this is still going to exist, and it did not exist a month ago. So I'm just saying this is what I'm doing now. But I have been reading 5 nights a week for 20 minutes. I have been doing red light mask on my face. I have been dry brushing.
Oh, I want to
in the morning. I just started. Right now, only my legs. I don't know why, but I need to look into it more. Why? I started gua sha and then I actually stopped because I got too much acne. So I'm going to find a different way to do that, maybe with my hands. And then I got an acupuncture mat. I do it 3 times a week for about, I would say 20 minutes at night, like watching TV, acupuncture mat. And then I use a Theragun about 4 times a week for just 5 minutes. And what else have I been adding into my routine? I think that's all I can think of right now, but these are like very new habits that I've been doing and I've loved it. I've truly loved it because I haven't, to be fully honest with you, I've never been a skincare girly. I've never been a product girly. I've never really like done a lot of this stuff. And it feels really damn good. It feels really cool.
And you like love the routine. That's all that matters.
By the way, day 16 of doing this basically. So
she's almost at 21. So these are going to be new habits.
The red light mask, that has been really, I swear, really working.
Really?
I love
it. What does
it.
that do for you?
I don't know.
Collagen production, I assume.
You know, we're just gonna Google that later, but I've heard it does wonders and I've used it for 2 weeks and I swear it really has helped my skin like just clear up a little bit. I don't know.
You have the best personality.
I don't know. This is why I'm not a health and wellness nut. I'm not a wellness guru. As you can tell, I just am a regular girl who likes to inspire workouts.
And you're so like authentic with how you share it. Okay, I have to ask this just because it's coming through. I want to ask you, how did you attract your dream man right now?
Oh.
Were you calling in that relationship?
No, I was not.
When he met you, he probably was just like laughing, your humor.
I was also a Tasmanian devil when I met him. I messed up the first couple times of our encounters. I bailed on him an hour before our first dinner date because I was just like, nah, I don't do dates. So I met up with him the next day. I was with 6 of my friends and we just were, you know, being girls, it was just him. And so he was probably like, nah, this girl's wild. Too much for me.
Too much tequila.
Yeah, checks. And so I ended up texting him. Well, actually my best friend on like the following week texted him and was like, hey, texted him off my phone. And then he texted back and the rest is history. So horrible story, by the way. Like I would love some inspiring story, but maybe the inspiration is that be yourself because he'll still stick around if he likes you. He likes you.
I love that.
Like I was dating a guy for like, I would say on and off for 3-4 months and he would never really commit to me and he would like so wishy-washy. I'd have to like, I would question myself every day if he liked me or not. And then the second that, you know, me and my now fiance went on our first real date, the rest was history. So it's like, you really do know. I felt that we knew right away. And he had never really been in a long-term relationship before. And so he just really we really just both connected on both ends. And it was comfortable. It was extremely comfortable. Like, we became boyfriend, girlfriend 3 weeks after we met, which for me is so different. I would date people, like date in quotes, people for 5 months and nothing would happen.
You know.
Yeah, it's true.
So Katie, it's been a pleasure. Sorry,
I feel like I should end on a better dating story than that, like something inspirational, but like that's how I ended this.
You said be yourself and he'll stay if you stay.
I sound like a head case, but that sounds good. That's how we met. The dating app. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just gotta check out her campaign with this dating app.
Yeah, it's called The League.
Well, you are just beyond. You're such a light. You're such a good energy.
Thank you.
And I just want to honor you and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. You're great.
Well, before we leave, I want you to plug away like what you're excited about, personally and professionally, what people can stay up to date with, and then plug your socials.
First time, wait, when does this come out?
We can kind of do it around your preference.
Oh, it's okay. I think I can say it. First time I will ever be announcing this. Maybe not. It depends on when this come out. But I am coming out with, this is the first time I'm saying it. Oh, I'm so excited. Katie Austin Walking by Treadmill. I'm so excited.
Wait, what? I will be your first purchase.
I have walking workouts surrounding the treadmill, and it goes up to 7 miles per hour.
Over here.
I am obsessed with you guys. I have been using this thing since July. It's the Katie Austin treadmill, and I literally have been obsessing over it, and it's been a secret for so long. And it comes out. I can finally announce it on February 1st, and I'm just so excited.
I'm like shook because it's on my list.
It's a good, affordable price, and I have all the walking. It's called Walk It Out. It's a whole program on the Katie Austin app, so you could do with it.
I'm here for it.
It's podcast form and it's also video form. So like you could see me pumping my arms if you want. You can sprint with me. You can like do the intervals with me. You don't have to. So, anyways, that's what I'm most excited for at the moment. And then I'm also, going to Super Bowl and doing some really exciting things there, hosting wise, and like some of my dream jobs. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But you can find me on Katie Austin everywhere, and then the Katie Austin app.
Oh, you heard it here. I'll link everything below. And thank you again, Katie.
Yay, thank you. Bye, guys.